Hello and welcome to the new Power BI tutorial video. And in this video, I want to show you how you can create this dashboard from scratch. So this dashboard came from one of the inspiration or one of the dashboards that I saw in the Dribble website. Usually it's a place where I go and view, what is really innovation or design related innovation going on in terms of producing the dashboards or reports. And some of the amazing designers are producing the information using tools like, for example, Photoshop and similar tools to basically create layout like this. And then whatever I like, I basically create it. So similar layout, what I have also done is created in Tableau. So make sure you also watch that video. I've posted it, I think 2 or 3 days back. So you can watch that dashboard video if you want to learn how to create similar type of layout in Tableau, which is in my view comparatively complex. In here, because of the floating layout, it's quite easy. In here you don't have a grid type of a structure, so it's relatively easy. You can easily do that, but there you have to follow a proper mechanism to put the component at proper location. So that's just quickly about the comparison based on what I realized while I created the similar dashboard in Tableau a few days back. Okay, so make sure you check it out if you want to understand how to create similar one in Tableau. Okay, over here in this dashboard, as you can see, a lot of things is going on. First of all, using the new KPI card, which is over here. This is a new card. I have created these KPIs, and again, when I compare it with the Tableau, I have to create 4 different components in 4 different sheets, and then I have to bring in all of these images as single sheet. But here you will see in Power BI, I think it's a complete next level step where with a configuration in one component, I don't have to create 4 components. With just one component, I can create all these pieces without much of an issue. Okay, and then this component which gives you a feeling that it is a one component where you have total sessions in the latest year and then month by month breakout, just to understand are we improving month by month or not. Then some KPIs, important KPIs about unique page views, average page load time, and then a trend about bounces and sessions, whether sessions are increasing in the same way bounces are increasing or not. So if they are not, then it is a good thing, right? Also, session and bounces by the device category, just a quick breakout. Same way over here, with the help of a chart, we are looking at the top 5 page views by the device category and the top 5 unique page views by country, just to get an idea from on which page, what are our top 5 page on which the traffic is coming and from which country it is coming. All right. Now on the left hand side, if you observe, what you have is basically a navigation buttons or navigation panel where you can have, let's say this is cockpit dashboard, but if you have metrics, multiple views you have created for sessions, like for example this session over here, right? So by various different dimensions, so you can enable this. This is just for the layout or a design perspective, but you can enable if you have multiple pages. For example, if you see right now nothing will happen, but let's say we create a new page. Let's say you create some dashboard over here and we give it sessions as the name over here. We can actually enable this button by coming over here in action and say page navigation and destination is session, right? This is how we can enable it. So when I click it over here, it goes to sessions. So same way, you can come back to cockpit by saying navigating to page 1. All right, so that's quickly about the navigation button and how to configure for a fully functional or a big dashboard that you are creating. Okay, so once you have that, right, what you can do, what I will do is I will start creating the dashboard and show you the data and all of this configuration with very easy to follow step-by-step manner. Okay. With that, just before I go into this, a quick information about this Google Sheet where I keep all of my Power BI related videos. So what I have in column A is the title of the videos, and in column B, I have the video link. That way you can very easily search any of my videos like these folks are doing right now. They are looking at the titles, and using the link, video link present in column B, you can jump onto that video without much of an issue. So that way you can very easily all the content related to the Power BI that I have put on my channel. Okay, with that, let me go back to Power BI. All right, so here I have Power BI and I will click on File, New, and that way I will start creating it and give it a couple of seconds to start opening up the Power BI. So first thing first we will going to do is in a step-by-step manner is looking at or importing the data. All right, let's close this. Okay. Alright, so I have this dashboard which I will move it to my second screen so that I can easily follow the component, and then I come over here. Alright, so what do we have is the blank screen, right? So what we need to do, we basically first thing first I will do is I will change the canvas setting from 1619 to custom, and I will make it height at least 1000. And 1280 is fine, or maybe we can make it 1300. Okay, so once we have done that, the very first thing is looking at the background, canvas background. And canvas background, we will going to choose, the way I have chosen the color is by looking at this color only, right? And I move it towards this color. Okay, make it transparency 0, and this is what you got. If you like this, or if you need to move a little bit more lighter, then you need to basically come towards here, right? So that's a good color what I really like, and I followed the practice that is basically given over there. So I can, maybe this is good, much more lighter, and this is the color FFE0E0 that you can directly put and you will get this color. Okay, so you have this color, as you can see very easily. I have got it in front of you. Once I have done that, then the first thing first is I will going to put the title. The title is Web Marketing Dashboard. Okay, select that, make it what 24 volt, and increase the size maybe up until here, or maybe here, right? And we will bring this down a little bit so that it will look like we have proper spacing. Okay, so once we have this, the only thing is I will just try to create some impact. So this is nothing but design techniques in terms of how you basically make an impact over there. And then I change the color to white, and for that effect background, let me change the color, and then I will choose the same color again and again. Yeah, this color is fine, as you can see, and then we can put it. So again, forgot to show you that the color is FFA6A6. Okay, so once we have got that, the next thing you may want to do is in the effects, visual border, but make it what, rounded corner. So over here for border color we will choose this, but for rounded corner let's choose 20, and we get rounded corners as per our needs. Okay, once we have done that, then we will create a side banner over here. So for side banner I will come over here and click this, or maybe this one. That's actually much better because I don't have to produce a rounded corner, right? So we have this, and let's produce this, but these are like too much of rounded corners. So 25, I will just check it 20 because this is something I have done over there as well. Okay, so we have this banner, and I will increase probably a little bit of size. Yeah, this much is fine. And in the shape style, the color I will going to choose is the same color. And then I see the border is present. Okay, where are you? Here. The border is present, so we will uncheck the border. So then it will be all this. Then in this I will create couple of buttons to get that impact. So insert, and over here blank, let's put it over here. All right, copy paste. Ooh. Let me delete it and copy and paste again rather than increasing or decreasing a size. Copy paste. Okay, so once we have done that, then select this shape. In the shape, you have shape as a rectangle, or you have couple of other shape like oval or octagon. I think if you see this is your oval, rectangle or rounded rectangle. This is rounded rectangle. I think rounded rectangle looks good. So once we have done that, in the style I will enable the text and I will call it cockpit. That means, it's basically the main dashboard. Generally you have in a plane, you have a cockpit, and that's where all the controls and everything present with the same mindset, right? And maybe let's give it 15. Center, vertical alignment is also center. Yeah, I think nothing much of a space for vertical alignment. And once we have that, we will make it bold, but the color we will going to make is white. Okay, and in this case the style, the background color, I will fill it, and I think so you have 50% transparency, call it 0% transparency, but the color will be, let's say, this. Okay, so I think this is not making sense, but let me try to change this color to okay, font is white. I'm changing text, and fill needs to be slightly darker. Yeah, this one I was looking for. And then I don't want border, right? Now I have to do it multiple times, so let me just copy and paste this one so that I just have to change the text. Otherwise these 3 or 4 steps I have to follow every single time, right? So that's an easy way, and that's the recommended way, that you do all the setting in one of the component and then change in the next one. Let's call it what? Sessions. Let's say all the sessions related metrics, deep down into that. Then all the page views related metrics, all the page load time. Okay, now we need to create our values, but there is no data, right? So far we have not loaded, so at least designing and all we can do that. And then let me bring the data. Okay, so in home, in Excel, I will click it, and this is where I will first go, and in my dashboard I have web marketing, and from there I can bring the web marketing data, and I believe it will give me everything that I need, hopefully. All right, so I have all of these different channels which I was not expecting, but let me try to get it from a different place. I know there is one more data set, and that data set link is also present in the description. Okay, so I'll go here, and in my trainings, web marketing, and in that I'll say all files, and in that I will have web marketing data. Okay, so I will show you the link also from where you can get this data. As you can see, test channel grouping, country, date, device category, page title, and so on and so forth. So I'll say load. But let me show you from where you can get this data. So over here, if I go to my drive, and in my drive I have something. So this is usually the link which I give, where you come, and in this you have one sheet called dataset sheet over here, and you get the web marketing dashboard over here. Along with that, if you want to experience or if you want to fetch a couple of other dashboards data, you can get it from here for your practice. All right, let's go back. So once we have that, the next thing is bringing this KPI button, right? Okay, let's do maybe till here. Once we have done that, what I'll do is I will bring in the sessions. Okay, I have sessions, I have total exits, I have the total bounces, which is over here, right? And then I have average time on page. So this is time on page. Rather than sum, I will call it average. All right. So now I have this, all of this here. So once you have this information, then I'll go into its setting, right? We'll go to layout, and the layout is orientation is horizontal is fine, and space between the cards, I think it is fine. In the shape is rectangle. We will call it what? Rounded rectangle. So all of this is changing together. We don't have to do it 4 different times, right? Earlier it was the case where you have to choose one by one and do this change. And the rounded rectangle, we will keep it standard to 20 because that's what we have followed over every single place. So once we have done this, the next thing is adding the image and text at the proper place. So text is already there. The only thing is we have to just make sure that rather than session, we are calling it total session. Rather than exits, we are calling it total exits. Rather than bounces, we are calling it total bounces. Average of time on page, we will call it average time on page. Okay. So once we have done that, we will then come to the cards, and we will supply some of these settings to all. First thing first is we have to bring down the text. So I have this, I have call out. In the call out, this is where my text, this big number is present. So let me call this to 30, right? This much is fine. Otherwise it was taking a lot of space and attention. Once we have done that, then what I can do is I can make it all centralized. Reason, because I need to get the image on the left hand side, right? Display units in decimal places, I will call it 0, right? And label is basically the position, I will call it below value. So that's how the below value position is coming, right? So this is where all of these settings are present, and that's basically help us put the information in a proper way, the way we want. So all these customizations we can do that. So I will hide this. Now for total session, we will bring the image, and image is basically nothing but the icon. So if I go into the browse, and in the browse I have Power BI, in that I have icons. So all of these icons are basically dummy icons which I have taken from the same inspirational dashboard, and let me show you how you can do that. Let's say if this is an inspirational dashboard you have seen, then how you can get it, or the one which I showed you at the start, the final dashboard, how you can take it from there. So from normal we will call it fill, or we can call it fit. We can make the size maybe 75, or who knows, 90. Yeah. And position, let's call it left. I think 90 is quite big. 80 is fine. Yeah. So this is the same setting, then we have to do it. Now let's say you have got this as an inspirational dashboard or inspirational dashboard. So what you will do is you will simply, wherever the icons are present, you will say Windows Shift S, that is where you will have a snipping tool. Copy this icon, paste it in a PowerPoint. Let me show you. Paste it in a PowerPoint like I use it over here. And this is the thumbnail I created for Tableau one, so that's why it is showing me here. So right click and save, sorry, not size and position. Right click and save as picture. So once you save as picture, you can bring it again in the Power BI, right? That's the same thing which I'm doing over here. So that's my process to capture the, because my idea is that I show you the functionality and the design thing rather than icon, because icons are very subjective and as per the needs of the business. Okay, once we have done that total sessions, then what we need is total exit, image and browse. That is my icon number 2, right? And that will be fill, if I remember. Position is, where is that, left. Size I believe is 80, and we are good, right? Now once we have done that, we need to do it 2 more times. Bounces, image, browse, icon 3, position left, fit, fill or fit, whatever, and then 80. Same way for the 4th one, which is the average time on page, image, browse, icon number 4, fit, fill, choose this, left, and make it 80. Okay, so that's how we basically put all of this information together, just so that it helps us. Now we don't need border, so what I'll do is I will select all and I'll uncheck the border, so all the borders will be gone, so it will feel like you have one big image. Then over there in the shape, right, so you have call out and in general you have effects, right? In the effects, first thing first is you remove this, and what you get is this rounded spaces automatically created to you. Okay, so that's how we are creating the KPIs, as you can see, very quickly for our dashboard. Once we have done that, the next thing is, again, we have to create one more KPI, which is for total session in the latest year. Okay, so I will bring it down a little bit and create some space so that it will, be available as some proper spacing. Okay, so because spacing is a big concept when you need to design the dashboard. All right, so this is where we have it, and in this what we can do is we need to basically put 2 things. One is the sessions. This is basically latest year session, so I'll put the data, and I have date, which you can see is not coming properly. So what I can do is come over here in table, select the dates and change the data type to date and say yes, we want to change it. So this will change, and you can see a proper hierarchy is coming now. So what you'll do is we'll go back. It's just that I am not checking this because I'm working on a dummy data, but when you have done that, you need to make sure that dates are coming properly and as expected. Okay, so not just simply clicking and moving it away, but checking it that yes, it is matching with my source system. All right, so 219 is basic, 189 is basically what you have is sum of total session. So let's call it, because it is a latest year, so we will call it what, latest year sessions. We will come down below, since there is just one card, right? Sorry, in call out, first thing first is in the label I have to position below value, I have to put it like this, right? And then central alignment is something what is needed. Also, once we have done that, what do we need is basically the images. So over here, image, and in the image we have the icon number 5, which is this. We will call it fill, and the position will be top. Okay, and the size will be what, 100 or maybe 80. Yep. So we have this. Once we have this, we can copy and paste 2 more times. Oops, sorry. Control that. Control that. Right. So I will press copy and paste outside by clicking on the outside. Copy and paste. Right. Okay, so let's just reduce it a little bit. Maybe, yeah, this much is fine. Same way, we can select this and see what's the size. Width is 179, but in this case maybe we can keep it what, 200, or 200 is slightly less. 220 is good. 220 is good. Okay, because there we need to get a bar chart which is present over here. So let's put it in the alignment. Same way, in alignment. Okay, so once we have this, then what do we need is same thing. We need year and month, I believe. Year, no, not year, actually month, because we just need the latest year, month. Over here in visual, from advanced filtering to basic filtering, 2019. And what do we need is the sessions. So we got the sessions. The only thing which I will do is couple of formatting. From the x-axis, we don't need title because we know that it is a month information. Same way, we don't need this. Actually, we don't need entire y-axis because we will enable the data labels. But for the columns, we will choose a color that is this color so that it is properly there. Now the only thing is I will remove the border here. So for that, cards in the border, I will mention that. Okay, so it will give you a message that it is one component. Same way over here, right? So rather than saying latest year session, this is total unique page views. So we will close this, total unique page views, and then in the cards we will border, let's uncheck that, and image, let's remove this and say what, 5, icon number 6, and I think size is 80. Maybe we can make it 100. No, even 100 is small. Image fit, fill, 100, 130 is good. Yeah, this is, I think, a little bit bigger what we needed, or something which I have shown in my earlier example. So this is 130, and same way I will bring in one more icon, which is the 7th icon. Call it 130 and call it fill. So good, and then we will remove the border. But here we will, what we will do is what do we have is the average load time, right? Page load time is here, and we will call it average. Okay, so we have this, and we will call it, go in call out, and in that we will say decimal places to 0. Average time on page, page load time, all of these, various different metrics that we are having. So this becomes our average time on page, and then here what do we have is average time on page. So basically it's repeating. So what I can do is average page load time is another metric. Rather than sum, we will call it average. So 54 seconds. So this will give us another perspective of the values. Average page load time. Now what we can do is, since this is for the latest year, we can even make this as a latest year, which you can see it over here. It's already present. Okay. So one more thing. We will call it not sum of, but unique page views, and average, not average of, but we will call it average page load time. Okay. So once we have this, the next thing is creating couple metrics. The first metric is basically by the, what do you have, device category. So from which device traffic is coming, right? So we have something called as device category, which we can put it on rows. And in values, we need to bring the sessions and bounces, two important metrics. How many sessions we have, how many bounces we have. So we'll call it not sum of session, but simply sessions. And bounces, we will call it simply bounces, right? Then we can extend that a little bit so that it can cover the entire space. Right? The only thing which I will do next is the values are present, right? And we don't want alternate this thing color. Also, in the grid, we don't need blue line, but I think gray is okay, right? And then once we have all of that, the row headers, I can probably make it central. Okay, left is fine, but I guess column header is what I wanted to choose, so I can make it center, right? And then values is also here, option is here. Okay, so too many properties, so I'm just moving it up. So we have row headers enabled. We'll close this. Cell elements, yes, this is where I think everything is fine. Okay, so specific column, sessions, alignment, center. Same way we have the bounces, alignment, center. Now the totals are different, right? So column total, you have column total or row grand total. Specific, I'm just trying to see where the totals are present to make it in alignment with what we are having. So looks like in totals you don't have the option to basically set it center, which if I uncheck that, it will move away. And then what I'll do is I can, yeah, I was just trying to remove the scroll bar. Okay, so that's a little strange that you have row subtotal, values, and in values position, where is the position is fine, subtotal is total is fine, but there is no way that you can basically align these. This is where either I am not aware where this part is, because it should be ideally aligned with. So header alignment, title alignment, everything is fine, but not the total. So what I can make it all right aligned. So I have column header, which I can make it then left aligned. And if you see title, I can make it this much aligned. And then once I have done that, then I can go to specific column and I make it this aligned for bounces. Same way for session. Okay, so this is where I have the apply to total, right? So this is where the setting is. Now if you see, so I can do this bounces, apply to total and center. So this is where the property was hidden when we were looking at it. So row headers, let's make it what? Not this one, sorry. Column headers, yeah. Okay, so this is what we needed, and as you can see, sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle to get the desired output. Okay, once we have that, next thing is we need to create a line chart which will give me the trend of, so this is our total, right? But what we need is a trend as well. So trend is the monthly trend. So what we can do is we can get year and we can get month, okay, and we can get bounces and we can get session. Okay, so session, bounces, right? What I can do is I can come over here on y-axis. We don't need title, right? And legend, we need it top center. This is where I put it so that it is properly coming in the center, right? Over here also title is present. We don't need x-axis title, so we will remove that. So this is also done. And once all of this is done, then it's all about the color. So we'll go to the lines, colors, sum of bounces. I will keep it very light, and this I will keep it dark, right? Or sum of bounces, we can make it like this much so that at least it is visible, and this much is dark. Okay, so that's the way we keep doing the formatting for our tables. Now the thing is, we will just remove this title because we can keep the title at the top. So general title, remove it, but over here general title and title we can keep it, total, sessions and bounces. Okay, and then what we can do is we can give it some space, come over here, some space, and we are done. Okay, so this is done. Then the next thing I will do is copy this and paste it because that's the bar chart I have to create. So you can see it's quite a big chart, and because we just need to show the top 5 titles. So top 5 unique page views by page title. So what I bring over here is page title, right? And I will remove this 2019 and not the sum of session, but this is based on unique page views, right? So on the page title, from basic filtering, I will say top n and say 5. And based on what field? Unique page views. Apply. And you get it, right? So this becomes your top 5 page views. And we come over here, general, title. Come on. Okay, save button. I hit the save button. Top 5 page views by top 5 page title by unique page views. Call it 12. Text color, we will call it little bit slight. Okay, so we have this. All right, I don't know what it has done. Then I can copy and paste this, and maybe I can create some space here. because looks like, we have the space. It's just that I have given a lot of space to the table itself. Okay. So now I can do this, and over here I can do some spacing here, but then I change this to this just to get a little bit more interactivity. Also, I forgot one thing over here. In my chart, what I was showing you is top 5 page views, but by device category, right? Similar to this one. So what I'm going to choose is the device category and put it here on the legend. But as you can see, this is the way it is coming, and that's not what we want. So what do we need is a chart like this. But we then need to choose the right colors. So the right colors we can choose here by coming into the column. So first thing is desktop, we will choose the darker. For mobile, we will choose the lighter, and for tablet we will choose the lightest because it is the lowest, right? So looks like desktop is very high or very dark, but this is very light, so this much is fine, I guess. So once we have done that, or another thing which I can do is, because I'm really not liking this color, mobile I can keep it this, and tablet I can keep it very light like this, right? So that's how I can have a good color combination. Now the next thing is countries information. So I will remove the page title and I can bring the country information. So this is unique page views by country, and in case of country also, what I can do is I can do basic filtering to top N 5, and I bring the unique pages over there and apply, and these are the values. Now if you see, this problem is coming where you are not getting the full name of the country. For that you need to come over here, y-axis, maximum width, just make it entire, and you will get all the names, right? Finally, what you also need is the filter at the top, which is basically your channel grouping, which is present here. And then I can change this to a drop down from here, which then I can come over here, put it inside this, then go to general properties, height. Let me just try to reduce it a little bit. 70 is fine, I believe. We can then check by going into effects and removing this, and let's see. Yeah, it is very well coming inside this. The only thing is title, I will keep it white, right? So in visual slicer header, font color, I can make it white. Channel grouping, and then I can select whatever channel I want. Let's say I want to understand direct, I want to understand display, organic, paid search, referral, social. So all these different channels I can easily put in. So that is something which I wanted to show you, how you can create the web marketing dashboard, as which your audience will love, because not just you are putting all the great information together, but you are also putting a great design together. So very easy to create. You can see almost in close to 40 minutes we have 35 to 40 minutes we have done that. I think the next level of the details basically comes over here is, hey, you are telling me 418 session, but what about compared to the last year, or basically if this is, let's say, latest year, first of all you need to show latest year and then show compared to the last year whether you are improving or declining. So that's another part. A one number is not sufficient. You always want to have the comparison, and once you understand, okay, you are improving, let's say, by 5%, then you want to see the trend, whether this is one-time improvement of 5% or you are continuously improving 5%. And that's why you see we are showing total value and then the breakup, we are showing total value and then the breakup. because that's what management really wants to see, and then decide, if something is declining, what is declining, and if something is improving, is it improving all across the board or one particular place, and what to do at other places, right? So that is something which I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed the session with me, and let me know how did you find it, and I'll keep creating similar videos for you based on your feedback, and keep giving you the new dashboards for your audience. With that, thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video with the new topic.